Bonjour. I'm going to talk to you today about Hive Learning. So Hive Learning is an established global software platform that I hope will enable Bouygues to create and sustain inclusive behaviour change at scale through peer learning. Carol Ditty, Bouygues Construction UK Legal Director, is my sponsor, and strangely, we both independently signed up to a panel discussion that Hive organised with Matthew Syed, author of Rebel Ideas and Black Box Thinking, and if you haven't read either of those books, I'd highly recommend them. We then independently arranged to follow up with Hive to find out more about what they did, and we realised that we had both made contact and subsequently joined forces, and were very excited when we heard more about what they did, particularly considering that on our Bouygues UK D&I committee, we were talking about launching unconscious bias training, and we were struggling to decide what the best format might be for that. So, research shows that 70% of efforts to change behaviour using traditional methods fail. And by traditional methods, I mean one-off face-to-face training and webinars. These things don't tend to work because they can be expensive, difficult to scale, but more importantly, people forget and they don't make any changes as a result. And unfortunately, this is in a climate where we need our managers to take tangible actions that make small but impactful cultural change every day. And we need them to engage with D&I by making them feel more comfortable with the subject matter. So the opportunity that we have with Hive is to implement long-lasting cultural change in our approach to D&I. So look what happens in the blue graph with learning momentum. So 45 minutes after the learning finishes, the momentum reduces to nothing. Compare that to the green line where the peak of learning momentum is higher and stays high. This, I hope, leads to increased awareness and understanding of D&I topics. Bias is reduced, as are cases of bullying and harassment. It improves our ability to celebrate a diverse workforce. And research is pretty kind of consistent in showing that diverse teams bring greater innovation, productivity, and profitability. So what is the Hive Inclusion Works solution? Oh, just bear with me. So it's a toolkit of learning pathways that we can choose from to make a bespoke an interactive peer learning platform for Bouygues, and importantly, it's available in multiple languages. So learning with peers means that the platform promotes conversation about content. Hive provide conversation starters and nudges to initiate interaction, as well as allocating responsibility to our own influencers or champions, who will be the leaders on the platform, prompting their peers to follow and showing best practice in use. 88% of Inclusion Works participants take action against bias in under 2 months. How amazing is that? So how it works. There are 3 things that make this peer learning programme unique. The first one for me is content. This is one of the things that's really cool because the content is bite-sized and it breaks down complex topics into simple actions that you can take away and do every day. Plus, since these are user-led, they're infinitely scalable and cost-effective. Content is trustworthy, it's curated from lots of top sources, and it evolves literally every week and every day, meaning it's always timely and reflects the latest things happening in the world, like Black Lives Matter, for example. Conversations. This is what peer learning is all about, bringing people together in groups to learn together and from one another. Every feature on the platform is designed to prompt conversation and reflection. Nudges and notifications draw your attention to your peers' comments and posts. Champions and influence are activated and employed to inspire others and bring the learning to life. And finally, and probably most importantly, outcomes. The Hive team own the success measures that we define. We then have a bespoke engagement plan to map out the tactics for onboarding, engaging and re-engaging users. And the platform uses polls, mini surveys and other ongoing, Hive call them pulse checks, checking the engagement to measure the impact in real time and over the course of the programme. So many businesses globally are using Inclusion Works and Hive, including Sun Life Financial. They piloted the Inclusion Works programme, which is what I'm proposing for Bouygues, before scaling to deliver to 30,000 people. Amazing numbers. And some powerful stats here as well. They say that 78% of learners log in every week. 88% of participants take action against bias, and 94% felt confident demonstrating inclusive behaviours at work. This bar chart shows staff sentiment before and after the Inclusion Works programme. And again, there are some quite powerful stats here, but I just wanted to highlight a couple. So of the statement, I have the resources to help me build psychological safety, that increased by 510% after Inclusion Works. Similarly, staff saying, I have the resources to aid me in talking about D&I, increased by over 200%. I don't want you to read all of this slide, but I just wanted to demonstrate that we have a clear plan to roll out a 3-month pilot programme in the UK or another country for 250 to 300 managers at a cost of £15,000. This basically shows that month 1 would be preparation and planning, month 2 to 4 would be launching and running the pilot, and month 5 would be measuring, sustaining and potentially expanding the platform to a wider group. This slide summarises what the Hive service includes and also what the Bouygues team would need to do to facilitate this trial. So just to highlight, Hive would prepare a comms plan, work with us to map our content and connect with our champions to promote engagement and then monitor, importantly. So we're able to track progress from the beginning of the process. We as Bouygues would need to assign a programme lead, ideally a small working group to work with Hive to define the content, prepare the comms and facilitate the launch. And as I've mentioned, we'd need to enlist the support of 5 to 10 champions to stimulate conversation on the platform. Easy, right? And that's all, apart from I have one more slide, which just is an example of the diverse range of learning pathways that Hive have on the platform and which we can choose from. Thank you.